Hello everyone, it's Saturday and it's streaming time again. Before I begin, there's two announcements. One is with my community tab. There's an audience participation call there, which, judging from the response, not many people probably have seen, so check out on my channel page and click the community tab to see that. That was the first thing. And the second thing, I already forgot what was the second thing, so let's dive in right into the code. It's here. Oh yeah, since the last stream I have actually done some changes into this project offline, off camera. There's a couple of comments here. I think let's see, rewrite the font style rendering system. Yeah, I think this was the last commit that I made on screen, so since that there have been quite many commits here. And I'm planning to do a little review of the changes that I have done to the code. This looks a bit different than it did the last time, but before we go forward with that, I should probably answer those couple of people who wonder what is a terminal emulator, what I'm actually doing here. So this is actually, I'm starting it right now, and this window here is the program that I'm making, and by visual appearance it doesn't really appear that much different than this window here, because both of these are terminal emulators. But what is actually happening here is some people are spamming, and what is actually happening in this window here is that a terminal emulator is a program that connects two different things. It connects the user and it connects a service. It doesn't do both, it does one thing and another thing. It connects one thing and another thing. So in this case the user is me using a keyboard, using a screen here. That's one thing that it connects, and the other thing that it connects is the shell here, which you see here. The shell, or any program really that it might connect, is just a program that reads standard input and writes standard output. If you know some C language, you already know about this stdio header. And let's see, do we have actually a manual for the stdio header? Well, this is maybe not the best possible approach for it, but you know that one of the first things you learn in C language is a printf call. Printf is a typical function that writes something into std out, and then there's also functions like scanf, which reads from std in. And the shell, where I'm typing all these commands, is basically just a program that reads standard input and writes into standard output. But it doesn't do any rendering, it just reads data and writes data. It's all the text stream that it is processing. And the terminal emulator is the thing that transforms all these text outputs into something you can see actually on the screen. And that's the part that I am doing here. And it is just a stream of text what it is actually doing. If I do strace is a program in Linux and many other systems which traces the system calls that the program is making. If I do strace on this shell program bash here, you can see that it does write calls here. Excuse me, that was not what I was planning to do. It does writes. Where did it go? Let me do that again. Yeah, here's a write call that it does here, and if I type something, you can actually see that it also reads. So it reads and writes, and the terminal is the thing that makes that all that appear on the screen. And because a text stream only contains text, that it doesn't contain anything about colors, or it doesn't contain anything about cursor positioning. You see, when I press backspace here, the cursor moves on the screen. That is all happening in the terminal emulator. In this case, Xterm. This window here is produced by Xterm. And in my terminal emulator, there's a loop here in the right call, which processes every single character that the program inside the terminal prints. And it interprets what is the character that is being printed here. For example, if the character was backspace, it will change the cursor position left by one position, so it decreases the X position here. And similarly for every single character that the shell might print. And part of those things that it might print are escape codes. Escape codes are special sequences that begin with the escape character. And in the internet we have a listing about the escape codes. Let's see. For example, this page here. It shows here all kinds of escape codes. For example, here ESC1M turns bold mode on, so it changes the color. ESC bracket and some integer value, and big A letter moves the cursor up and lines. So my terminal emulator interprets all those commands. For example, the command for moving the cursor up, like it was here, it reads the parameters to that command and changes the cursor position up by that number. So that's the short introduction to what a terminal emulator is. And that's what I'm doing here. So let's go to the to-do listing now. And also, people have been writing comments. Did I say hello already? Hello. So, the playlist, please read the frequently asked questions in the video description. What keyboard do I use? I use a Fujitsu keyboard KBSX PC. It's a PS2 keyboard. What else have been written here? Someone also asked playlist. No. Mirror's Edge. Yes, that's Mirror's Edge on the background here. Yeah. So, things that are missing. I haven't done all the style renderings yet. Yesterday and since the last stream actually I improved the style renderings a little bit and the color renderings also, so there's like 8 variants of the colors, and I did some work for the, actually that's external, hold on, that's my terminal. So I did the italic rendering here, the underline was also done in the previous stream. I did the bold and the bold intense colors. I rewrote those a little bit since the last stream. I could maybe show that code here for shortly. Yeah, those of you who watched my previous stream remember that I copy-pasted, in the end of the stream I copy-pasted the table which contained some magic numbers which specify how the brightness of pixels are transformed, and this time I decided to do that on compile time. So this table is actually built on compile time. You can see because it says const expr here, that signifies a compile time calculated table. It's a table of arrays, and those tables are calculated in this function, which is also a compile time function, as you can see, because of this const expr here. So I have here a function that calculates the pixel brightness depending on whether it should be dim or whether it should be bold or whether there's italic involved. So if there's italic involved, this mathematic formula here produces the scaling for the brightness. So the practical effect of the brightness scaling is that on each scan line the brightness for a pixel is a little bit different. And sorry, my nose is totally not cooperating for the stream right now, so I cannot breathe through my nose at all, so that's too bad. This temp script here, let's see, it's like this. If you want it somewhere, I can maybe put it like in some accessible location. Like test.txt. No? Why? Why? Why is it complaining about that? Hold on. Why is that not working? Programming examples, okay. So the address to that is in the chat right now. So where was I? Is that a double underline? Yes, that is a double underline. Also, in the last stream I said that Joe doesn't support italic. Well, I was actually wrong. If I do terminal is Linux, then italic is not happening. This should be in italic, but it's not. But if I set it Xterm, then it becomes italic. So Joe does actually support italic. There's also dim text here. So all those formattings that I need to support are already supported. Encoding is wrong. Encoding is wrong where? What was the address again? Dim test. It's totally right. Encoding is totally right because these are escape characters here. So that's totally right. Really young age, 14 years old. I was actually 14 years old when I began programming. Let's do a little side jump here. Cool. Let's switch to Quick Basic for a little moment. Here are some files from 1993, 1992. Specifically maybe August or September 1993 was when I began programming. Before that I had no experience of programming whatsoever. Here is a program that I wrote 1 year later, from August 1993. It is a Quick Basic game, because I began with basic programming. And if I can actually demonstrate that, that would be very nice. Let me see if I can do that. And if I can make this window bigger, so you could actually see something. Hold on. I will add a window like that and make it a little bit bigger for you. So let's open this. Make DOSBox a little bit faster. That should be fine. And I don't think I'm getting audio here, although this should be audio. Pelin aloitus. Let's see if this actually still works. What kind of keys does it actually take? It doesn't seem to be doing anything. Well, this was a bad demonstration because it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Well, demo effect. In any case, when I had been programming for just 1 year, this is a game that I made, but it doesn't seem to be working for some reason right now. That I probably should not spend time debugging too much. So I will just remove that window capture from there. So that was a little sidestep there. So I began with BASIC, and after that I went to Pascal. Yes, Pus is Pascal extension. And then after having programmed in Pascal for some years, or some time at least, I began studying C, which seemed really complex and stupid to me for some reason. And after a couple of years I learned a bit of C++, and after that I've been doing C++ because it became my favorite language and I like it still. And it has been getting better and better by the year. So the things that I want to do here, maybe some decorations, that could be one thing. Character sets, that is a pretty important thing that I would need to do, and I should do Unicode support here. But I have not yet decided what is the best way to do that, so I will leave those as to-dos and possibly do those off-screen. So in this screen I will maybe just do some window decorations. Like that person, for example. The OS is Linux. So right here I have my Terminal Emulator. And the source code of my Terminal Emulator inside my Terminal Emulator. And just for the fun of it, I could maybe continue making the rest of the video inside this Terminal Emulator. Let's see how it works. I also have another idea, but I have to remember that later. So, rendering. Ah, this italic is so nice. Although it could be a little bit more slanted, but oh well, it is what it is. Dev Game Studio Game Engine, never heard. Also, I should probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. There we go. You can still see this, I believe. Should be pretty visible. Let me know if it's not. Well, just in case, I will make it a little bit larger. Like so. So, this is going to be used testing also. It looks a little bit blurry, the italic. Yes, that is true, because it is anti-aliased. And it is anti-aliased on font pixel level, not on screen level. So that is actually intentional. Because I am kinda emulating a low resolution screen here. So that was the cell part. But in here, the first row, I have to think about this design for a little while. I used Slackware in the beginning, but then after some years I switched to Debian. And I like Debian. Is this song? This is pretty quiet. I don't recognize this song. Okay. So what I am going to add here probably will be something like I don't have this package in my system. Hold on. Okay, never mind that. Well, Copy paste it is then. I see a problem there. The cursor is not in the right position. Yeah, the cursor is not where it should be. I don't know why. Is it a caching issue? It's probably a caching issue. So this is what I am going to use here. You have of course seen these many times before. And this is the 16 pixel height version. And there's also 21 pixel height version. So maybe I will just take these, although I'm thinking of compile time actions, but that will have to be. When I closed one window, it didn't actually immediately register here. I don't even know why. Maybe I'm just imagining. So this is Mario, and then I have to take the X and the pose positions, the X positions for each X coordinates. How is the width of this string, by the way? It's 32 letters, so they might be probably aligned already. I'm going to guess that. Sonic. This is loud. Loud. It's a good song, but it's a little bit loud. So, Sonic. Do we have Sonic graphics that is 16 pixels tall? Sonic Sprite. What are the heights of these? I believe these are like 32 pixels tall, so that's a no-go. Yep, no-go. How many screens do I have? I have 2 screens here and also one laptop there. So one screen in front of me, one screen over there. Of course, pointing here is pointless because of this screen layout, but one screen on my side and one laptop there and one screen in front of me. I also had a third screen here at some time, but I repurposed that screen for my recording monitor in the studio room. Because I don't have the room on this desk for it. What do I mean by stiff? I answered that in that same stream where I mentioned that. So ideally I would like to turn this into some more compressed format of data, but so I will make that kind of function which just transforms a pixel. So the changes will be confined into one module only. And of course, this is officially not Mario, this is a person. So of course, it's not Mario. It's a person. So, should I use XOR there or should I use something else? I have to think about it because the foreground color is... Oh, what would fit best there? And of course I also need the timer, so... So this function returns the x-coordinate where Mario is relative to window width. This is probably Jogger Liljedal, is it? It's not. This is not. This is a lost in time, but I don't see a note by Jogger Liljedal. I see misogenius, so that is probably not copyright missile. So x-coordinate where Mario is. And of course it's person. So I have to know the window width here, because the person has to disappear on the window right edge and then also appear here, so let's try that. Are you going to use your terminal in future videos? Yes, that is the plan. Is that Mirror's Edge behind you today? Yes, that is, absolutely, that is Mirror's Edge. Okay, there are some bugs in this terminal emulator, because sometimes it doesn't quite refresh the way it's supposed to. I don't know why. Yeah, when I had this window open and then I closed this, yeah, something weird happens here. Open another window, close it, but open another window and close it. Yes, that is when it doesn't do properly. Yeah, the scrolling up doesn't work right. Hold on. Scrolling up worked here right, but scrolling down worked right. So this has scrolling all worked right, but when I open another window here, that's when things go wrong. And this why does Ctrl R create that kind of symbol prompt for me? Ctrl R. Ctrl R. Yes, that is right. But it doesn't do that normally, Joe. So hold on. If I press Ctrl R here, yes, that also brings iFind, so that is actually right. But what happens when I open the sub window? Why does it only refresh this part? I have to check that. So let's make a trace of that Joe. And let's do it in another window. And maybe close this one and close this one and open this. This may be too small for you, so put it here. I do not use Turbo C++. So let's trace this. Ctrl K, Ctrl O. No. Focus right. Ctrl K, Ctrl O. And then see what happened exactly. This is also a nice song. I have to make the strings a little bit longer. So let's try that again. Ctrl K, Ctrl O. make a better test. So this is about the right place, and the P process ID is different now, so 627. Ctrl K, Ctrl O, and stop. And see what happened there. And also sticky these two windows. This song is kind of coming on my right side only. So this was Ctrl K, and this was Ctrl O. So what happened there was, let's see, reset color, and then, what is this? This makes a window, I believe. Yeah, this splits the screen, and then it returns cursor to left side, and then what does this do? TT1 terminal C++CC. So it moves the cursor. No, it also. No, I was looking for D. Yes, D. So it's supposed to move the cursor to the specified row. And then this scrolls. Should this be relative to the window? Maybe. Let me see. Maybe it should be relative to the window. What made you start being interested in emulators and emulation, considering a large amount of your channel is based on these type of videos? Well, actually, the fact that this is a terminal emulator is kind of coincidence compared to the rest of my emulator projects. I like old video game consoles, especially NES, 8-bit NES. Did I compile it already? Yes, I did. Ctrl K, Ctrl O. No. Ctrl K, Ctrl O. So what exactly went wrong, or did it? Did something go wrong? Ctrl K, Ctrl O. Close, refresh. I think that is actually right. Yeah. No. That should not be there. So I have something else that is broken here. So this positioned the cursor to the bottommost row of the window, and then scrolled 9 lines up, and then it made the whole window a window again, and went to this line for some reason. What does this do? It scrolls down. Yes. Should you scroll the whole window, or should you scroll just the part there? Let me see. Do I have in this listing specification what that should do? I don't see it in this listing. Okay, I see one here, a window. So scroll window. Has he already implemented the working Mario? No, not yet. What does this do? Yes, absolutely. That is part of programming. No, this looks wonky. That cannot be right. Really? Why do I have this line here? I have probably copied them from a Terminal Emulator in Linux, so let me see. What does Linux do? Where did I copy it from? I took it from Linux, but I have to find where did I take it from. From this file. Which is no longer in that file name. Or is it? No. What it is called? What is it called nowadays? Have I ever been to college? I am not an American person, so we don't have a school called college. USB serial console. Where do I find the console emulation nowadays? Let's find it. What is a terminal? Dunlell, I explained the principle of Terminal Emulator in the beginning of this stream, so if you do not know what it is, then either read the Wikipedia page for Terminal Emulator or click the video backwards to see what I explained there. No, I have not been to university. So ET. Can I find it here? Yes, CSIM. So what does CSIM do? If the number of rows is... So this clamps that. Number of rows. Yeah, that is so for efficiency reasons. Absolutely, I can understand that. So I have to delete that, I guess. What is this song? Have you ever contributed to the Linux kernel? Yes, I have. Could you put the explanation of the terminal emulator in the README? Yes, I probably could. That is a smart idea. So now, Ctrl O, and close that. Ctrl O, and close that. Ctrl O, and close that. That seems to be working better now. No, I take that back. I was already so happy. That is not right. So, that is fine. But, so where exactly does it happen? I have to make it repeatable to diagnose it properly. So this was right. If the cursor is in the bottom here. That works just fine, but it is if it is just a little bit below, like here, that also worked right. So where does it happen? Static, that's where it happens. So if I put it on this static line here, that's where the problem happens. But how to classify that exactly? Again, make a little trace of that. And a code. And stop. So what does it do? So this is what it did here. Creates a split screen, scrolls it in some direction. No, this is putting the cursor down, and this is scrolling. Scroll 7 lines to which direction? Wrong window! No, wrong window! And also this was a bad song. What was I looking for? I was looking for S. What does it do? I am actually not doing S. I am not doing S. That could be the problem, because I am not parsing this escape code. Oh. Is it possible to compile this code for ARM architecture without lost efficiency? I don't see why not. So S, what does it do? S, where can I find it? If I don't find it in this table, I know where to find it. I will find it in Xterm source code. So let's have a look at Xterm. BT parse table. So CSI table. And here, what does capital S do? Case SU, so what does it do? Scroll up. That's what I thought. Xterm scroll. But what does it scroll? Entire window, entire screen, or entire just one part? Oh. Scroll. Xterm scroll. Scroll the screen and the amount of line erases bottom that doesn't alter cursor position. All done within the scrolling region, of course. So, erases bottom. And the scrolling window. Okay, so I have to scroll up because it erases bottom. So I believe it is kind of similar to this one. How does it differ from that? Does it fix that? Have you received any entries on your upcoming video project? I announced that thing. To remind what he's talking about this. I announced this 3 days ago. About 3 days ago, I have received 2 applications. I sent them the information, and neither one of them has so far told me that they will do something. So basically I have 0. So far I have nothing on that audience participation part. So, cursor here, Ctrl K, Ctrl O. No. No, no, no. So what else? Can I make a test case? I can probably make a test case. So let's... I have something. Why do I have transparent window here? I shouldn't... The background shouldn't be visible here. Oh yeah, the window was not totally untransparent. Okay. Git convid episode 3 ccat. Where do I have cat? There. Oh. Let me make a little demonstration here. Actually, I have to copy the source code here as well. And I have to copy that file also. Actually, it's not even in that direction, so it's in that directory. I have used this mod somewhere before in my videos. Who can fastest identify where I have used this song before? Jiekai Zheng, why are you using that old compiler version? That is ancient. I was just looking for a simple program. Okay, there we go. So no one recognizes this song. No one knows where I have used this before. Congratulations, some breadman. So I'm making a little illustration here. So this just prints something on the screen so that I can see whether things are right or not. Yeah, that's better. And then So what happens when I do that? Nothing. Why? Really? Okay, that works. So that scrolls. So that scrolls the bottom part of the window from here to down by that number. And let's see whether my terminal works the same way. My terminal. It kind of does, although I need a smaller window. So let me change that. Change that into, and also maybe make this. This one, scroll down. Hold on. Is it identical? No, it's not, because I have a different size. For that, let's do 42 lines only. So in Xterm, I get this, and in my terminal the song stopped, and in my terminal I get this. Are those identical? Yes, that would seem to be the case. They are identical, so that escape works right. And then let's try this one. This is Xterm. Entire window, yes. And this is wrong. I can already tell. Because it should be scrolling the end. No. Really? No. Oh. This was a totally different thing. So. What? This was not actually a CSI sequence here, so this was a different thing. Down. And actually it's not supposed to scroll down because it's supposed to scroll up, so... Why scroll up? Top, bottom. Okay. Yeah. I'm messing up here too much. So let me restore those parts here and take this, scroll up the whole window without changing the cursor position. Yes, that should be right. Ants in my eyes. No, I don't. I don't care about skin color or race. I have no idea why some people make so big deal about it. So now, scroll up. Didn't scroll up. That scrolled up. but let's make that old size for the window. 25 and the scaling back to 4. STL provides all the necessary abstractions needed to get the most graphical stuff up and going with no fuss. I can see why Biscuit chose it. Yeah, sure. So cursor here and open window. And now that seems to be right. Can I still find where it breaks? Probably not. Huh. Well, we fixed a bug. Back to coding. A person it is. X coordinate where Mario is. So width is there. I need some kind of timer here. So how does chrono work in C++? Delete these empty lines from here. Can you put songs that you play on the bottom of the screen? Why would I put them in bottom of the screen when I already have them here, right in this window? So system clock time. This manual is not very easy for those parts, but this is clear enough. Oh yeah, I don't have copy paste here yet. So, okay, that didn't work right. That was rendering bug. So, yeah, when I move that line, something gets rendered wrong. When I mark this line and move it into this line, that's a bug, because it should be shown like this. So what is happening there? This one, and then actually mark that first. Move and stop. And what happens now? This is what happened there. It made a two-line window, and then it did a new line there, possibly to scroll a little part downwards, and then it made a whole screen window and continued like there. So what it was actually hoping for there was to make a window of these two lines and then move this line where Mario is up one and then create a blank line before that. After that, I mean. Yeah, that's what it was hoping for. Couldn't this technically work as a replacement for Xterm after you implement a few more basic features? Yes, technically. Can you explain a bit how to run commands in the terminal and capture the output? Maybe somewhere else. It's something that I could envision being a long lesson. And no, thank you, don't ask twice. Well, a simple lesson to that. If you run a command like ls, let me do it somewhere else, for example, like here. If you do ls, you can add a greater than mark here and capture it into a file like this. So it's the output is now in a file. So that's how you capture output in a file. So, why did that scrolling not work? I may have to simulate that also and see why that went wrong. So, what I wanted here was like little window and then put the cursor on the last line in the beginning of it. Let me see it whether that works. Yeah, the cursor is on the last line of that window, and then just scroll one down. No, run it. So there, that's what is supposed to happen. See that again. Oh yeah, I have to reset the window again. So that's what is supposed to happen. Over here on the width and the height lines. And in my terminal what happens? I have to make this bigger again. So that is different. But why? Word. Compared to this, it makes a different window. Yeah, it makes a different window there. What exactly did you contribute to the Linux kernel? I can't find your patch. Also, are you avoid calling Mario by his name, but you're the copyright? Yes, exactly, that's right. So, let's see. So this is what I did. Linux version 2.6.11. Sound/OPL3 SA2. A low-level driver for Yamaha OPL2, OPL3, SA2 and SA3 cards. Based on a patch by Joel Viluoma. That's what I have done in Linux kernel. That's basically the only patch I have made to Linux kernel. So, scrolling. How did you do syntax highlighting? Well, I didn't do it. I'm running an editor that does it. So the scrolling region is wrong. But why is it wrong? I have to think about this. Does it do what I want? Let's make a new test. No. No. Wrong, 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 wrong. Why? Why though? Is it a lot hard to learn about device-driven programming? I don't think so. Are you consider building a homemade computer from zero like 8-bit guy? Maybe that's not a totally unreasonable consideration and plan, but yeah. So your terminal implements VT's 100 terminal codes, yes, absolutely, and a couple of more. A while ago I used a Doom renderer video to make a similar engine in C#. Now about 3 years later I have learned C++ and I am now making it for DOS. Big thanks for the video. Thank you, Metal Demon. You do not need a fall through after an empty case label. That is absolutely true, but the reason why I'm doing this is because it is to remind me when I edit this code. When I edit this code, that if I happen to modify something like this, I take this and move it like here, that fall through kind of sticks into my eye and it reminds me that these two are group. So that's why I do it. I totally know it's not required. And for example, here where I pass these modes, I am not using them right here, for example. I'm not putting them like here. But also this is not empty, but yeah, I think you get the point. This song is kinda loud. So why is the window not working right? Or is it working right, but I'm just doing something wrong? Have you tried looking at ST's source code? If by ST you mean Scream Tracker, yes I have. Let me check if the new line code here respects the window properly. Yes, it does. So this is right. So why did this not work? So when you run a command in the Terminal Emulator, how do you capture their output in the code? And what about some security about interpreting the command run? Well, I don't need to interpret anything because... Well, actually, I don't need to interpret the commands because I am only receiving whatever the commands, whatever the program that happens to be running there is outputting. I'm only dealing with a stream of text, stream of data actually. So And that is happened by the PTY system in Linux. Fork PTY. It creates a file descriptor through which you can read and you can write. So that's how you communicate through it. Reading and writing through a single file descriptor. Let's add some debugging there. And also scale the window again. How long will this stream last? About until I get tired. Temp 2. So that's what happened there. And top and bottom are the same line. Yet it's just so totally wrong. I don't understand. It made a scrolling on 3 lines total. So I have to do actually that, because that should be there. What areas in computer science do you find hard? Any areas that I don't know yet? The hardest part, that is actually what you need in work, is estimating the amount of work required to do something. In work, you need to do time estimates all the time, and that is one of the hardest things. So height is 3. Thank you, Bungie. Terminal Emulator. POG. So I have a suspicion that these scrolling functions are maybe not exactly what they should be. Veso, what that person did was click the super chat. Super chat is this thing here. I have mentioned in the video description, if you want to make sure that I answer your questions, then you can do it through super chat, because that catches my attention, and I have promised that super chat messages I always respond to. Terminal Emulator I explained in the beginning of the stream. Voice is lost sometimes, music level is too loud. Let's make it. Oh yeah. I agree, the music level was too high. I was adjusting the wrong volume, because this was the slider for the background video, and it of course didn't do anything for the music, but this is for the music. Sorry about that. Have you tried looking at the source code for the terminal emulator called ST, the suckless terminal emulator? No. make a little test here. How do I reset the window size thing? Okay, I'll reset it like this. So remove that. Yeah. So let's see what Xterm does for that. Thank you, Gamma. Thank you very much. You are welcome. DDDD. So it only printed that. And it left a blank line there. This way it leaves two. So it really creates a two-line window there, and it is inclusive. It's inclusive, so it's all. So bottom. Yes. Inclusive. So the height is, if that is inclusive, then that is indeed correct. And this is, well, fill box is here and left, right. And the height of the window is, why is it locked? Because it's locked, okay. Just making some sanity checking here to make sure that everything in these functions is as it is supposed to be. That is probably cleaner. What is your keyboard? The keyboard is a PS2 connector keyboard, Fujitsu key KBSX. I probably better type that down actually. Keyboard. And again a silent song. Now it's on the below. Last time it was on top of here, now it's on the below. How do you debug print only? Well, mostly prints. If I need to do some line by line debugging, then I am using GDB, but I don't really need that really often. So these functions seem to be right to me. Of course, I could do new. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Hello, Sycoon Gaming. PewDiePie versus T-Series. What do you think about that? By principle, I support PewDiePie because I don't like the concept that the most subscribed channel on the YouTube is a company, and a faceless company at that. I don't like the idea. So by that principle, I support PewDiePie, but I have not subscribed to PewDiePie. So that is my answer. I don't care about his channel. It's the principle that I support. I don't care about his channel. Terminal Bell implemented yet? No, it's not. I have a beeper module here which is totally blank so far. Although I could do visual bell because I do support that already, technically. So, this scrolling. And I was actually checking new line, yes, new line. So new line is here. So this would seem to be right to me. And this LF function I could actually just do this. Simplify the code a little bit. So which escape was it that I was just testing here? I was testing the new line, yes. And again a popcorn song. I am using Debian testing. So let's make another test. No, that's not what I wanted to do. So that's what I get there, and why? Why? Why does it make a 3-line window there? Creating a window with top and bottom these. Why? These conditions I haven't checked for a long time. Let's add a print here. Scrolling up by that number and scrolling down by that number. Is it printing the window size in pixels or characters? Characters. Height is 3? Why? 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 It creates that window and then it gets height is 3. Why? Oh, I see. It is actually these conditions here. So let me fix these conditions. If -1 should be probably there. So let's try that again. And that is what should be happening there. Compare an X term and compare this. This looks now totally fine. So now do the testing here. So move this line, and that works. Perfect. So we have fixed another bug. Do you use UML? Do you mean user mode Linux, or do you mean UML graphics? Charts, I mean, what is the abbreviation short for? It's Unified Modeling Language. Do you mean that, or do you mean something else? So, now time. We can continue on this code actually. And for continuing the code, I should make the window bigger again. Default window scale is like that maybe. And also pixel height maybe like that. Default window scale, why did that would not work? Y and X. X and Y. Terve, terve. So, is this font too small? Let me know if this font is too small and I will change it. So X coordinate where Mario is getting calculated using these two time elapsed. How do I convert that into seconds? Like this. Oh, I don't have copy paste here. It gets me all the time. And also I will change the terminal a little bit. Looking dapper. I don't know. Time elapsed. Are true type fonts used? No, they are not. Time elapsed. So the X coordinate is how long a pause should the person keep there? This is C++ code. Person width is 16 pixels. So that is the width. And X coordinate for the person is... it should be signed. Time elapsed. Times... actually it should probably just be a constant speed, not speed scaled to the window width. So how fast does it work? 1 second per 16 pixels could be okay. Try that. So this width is actually in character cells, not the pixels. So someone was asking about the width earlier. This is maybe what they were referring to. I need to go to toilet. Can you wait 3 minutes? No, sorry. So that should be the right coordinate, something for it. Yeah, I think. I see ASCII Mario. Today is going to be a good day. Yeah. Minus no X. So if the person is outside the view, do not do anything. Otherwise we will have to figure out what's in there. Moving Mario. Well, this is going to be much easier than you think, Philip. Did you design that Mario? No, I didn't, and it's a person, not Mario. This contains coffee and... what is it called? Honey. Coffee and honey, because I'm out of milk. And it's instant coffee, not brewed coffee. So the width of this is 32 pixels, so... let me make sure this is 16 lines. Yes, it's 16 lines. So why is it multiplied by data with this same bamboo flute instrument is actually used in another mod, Amazonas Plus. No, it's not Mario. You are imagining things. It's person. It says person data here. train number. Plus frame start minus X. So if it is space, because we have 4 colors here, that could be black, and these 2 could be different shades. CPP Toast, you are imagining things. It says Mario nowhere here. You are imagining things. Terminal side scroller. So, screen. I need the color mixing routine, so I will put them in an include file. Repack. Color include the color include for color manipulation, and inside the person, look at the terminal name. The terminal name is terminal. What's the text editor called? It's called Joe. So color. So that's color file, and colors we are mixing colors, mix. Try something like that. Frame start, that will also have to be done, and I could maybe do it like this. That could be it. And then inside screen file, this song is also kind of coming from one side only. One of the comments in the person CC still refers to Mario. No, it doesn't. That comment still doesn't refer to Mario. So, person. I will also need to include that include file here. Oh, I see a graphics rendering error. What happened here? When I press enter here, that doesn't work right. Let me see what happens there. It may be bug fixing the time again. So press enter, press enter, press enter, press enter. So what exactly happens there? Dancing with Luigi. Jiekai Zheng, the part 1, the terminal CC part seems to come out of nowhere. That is actually true, because this is not the first time I read the Terminal Emulator. I wrote the Terminal Emulator for DOS at some point, in order to make some videos for DOS, which run Linux commands. So I copy-pasted that code and began from that. So here it creates a window and scrolls something using this escape. So I may need to verify this. So why exactly does that? It puts the cursor on the topmost line and then scrolls in some direction, probably down. So let's pause this progress and go back to problem squashing. So we have a little window here with this, and put the cursor on the topmost line, and then on the topmost line do... No, this was not the CSI command, but this was just this one. Oh. Let's see what that does. So it is supposed to do this. Let me see that again. Let's make a little different coordinate for that one. That is what is supposed to happen there. And what actually happens there is nothing. Oh, well. So it is this escape code where I already had this fix me. So now I have to look at that. Probably like that. But I have to still check the Terminal Emulator source code for Linux. USA. This one. So this is in the escape state, so RI. So if we are at the top line, then we are doing scrolling, and otherwise we are decreasing coordinate by 1. So if we are at the top line, so that is what's supposed to happen there. If we are at the top line. And what I had here was something different. Really? So how is that actually wrong? Let me also check in Xterm. So in Xterm, I have a parse table. In esc table it is RI, and in character processing it is rev index. Rev index, what does it do? Rev index. Moves cursor up amount lines, reverse scrolls if necessary, won't leave scrolling region, no carriage return. I see. So it moves cursor up, and if we are at the top line, then it scrolls up. Up? No, down. scrolls down. So this is what is supposed to happen there. Let's see whether that works. It didn't because I deleted something here, which I shouldn't have. Computer beep. Yeah, sure. So what happens in this terminal? I can delete. No, I will kill also that. So in my terminal happens. Doesn't work. Why? Really? Why? So this D command, it is supposed to actually... Yeah, I also have that wrong. Do I? Yes, I do have it wrong, because the D command is supposed to handle global coordinates, screen coordinates, not window coordinates. Let me verify that. CSI table, lowercase d is case VPA, and again xterm to the rescue, cursor to the vertical position absolute. Yes. So it is absolute. G is also absolute. So G is absolute. So plus top is going out from there. There we go. Code will be available on GitHub for customization, and it is already there. So now let's see. That did something, and that was wrong. Because I have to put the 29 here back. That is something, and then in here, do they match? Yes, they do. So that is another bug fixed. So continue with the person. Could this be ported to some other platform like Mac? I don't see why not. The only system-dependent part here is this fork.pty part. That is basically the only part that you need to customize if you want to run this on another platform. Person. So it was in screen.cc. Person.hh width and x and y coordinates, which are x and y. If y equals, actually that is pixel coordinates, so plus C and R. So this could work. Person transform. What? Oh, I need to add that module here. Ah, bug. Invalid conversion from chrono duration double. Invalid cast from. So how do I actually read the time elapsed? Okay, I need to use the count method. Count. No. Alright. Segmentation fault. We got a crash. Bug spray. Person data. So this was actually wrong. And why? Because of that. That didn't look right. Did you see that? It should be appearing again. Is it coming again? Faster to do it this way. This was totally wrong. And I know what causes that. Because I need to multiply these by the font size. Well, that is certainly interesting. Oh. That is supposed to be Mario. Person. And also I get all these crashes. So, what did I do wrong? Oh, you got a person, yes. Maybe the walk speed could be a little bit higher. I know. Let's change the window size again. 16 and 4 and 4 and maybe 5 even. Thank you, Lupin Dream. Hold on, let me read that properly. Well, that's also an interesting result. Thank you for your contribution to open source community. Here is a little something for your efforts and because my animals enjoy the music. What kind of animals, Lupin Dream? And thank you very much. So he's a little shaken. Actually, we could probably do the editing here. Rendering person. So what exactly is going wrong here? I know. It should be this seems like better what it should be. Well, doesn't let that look good. Not so good that it could be better. So I have here the little this sign, this mark, which is this. So the animation is kind of clunky. Maybe I need to seven and 6 and 8. Actually 7, 6 and 2 and 1. Try that way. Those colors look a little bit better, but the animation is still clunky, so let's fix the animation frame. Does base x divided by 3 automatically round down? Yes, it does. Let's try that. Okay, needs to be faster. That looks better. Could be still faster. Two German shepherds. Well, you enjoy the challenge, I think. Well, at least they are not huskies. Well, there we have a person. Although I would prefer if the colors were different, and also I think I could do also the background hack that I did. Background color. RGB color and do background color. Like that, maybe. Add the background color here. RGB color should be Pix color now, so now when it passes in front of text, it's kinda subtle. Can we make it a little bit less subtle? Background. Do you still play the game of Go? Very rarely. I haven't given up on it, but I just haven't played lately. That is certainly different than it was before, but I think that will maybe do. And then when we have a smaller font, like 8-pixel font, when we have an 8-pixel font, then we will only get this much, just like we get in the DOS editor. Will you be updating Git repository today? Yes, I will be. So, now that I have the person there, I should make a test. I will indeed make a test. A very important test. Also, because where is it? This one? No. This one? No. Where is it? It's here. Let me change things. We have a different background animation. Also, the VLC window is out. Yeah. So I have a different background animation now. So, the test. For the test. No. It wasn't here, it was maybe here. Was it here? Yes, it was here. So let's copy this output file into my Terminal Emulator directory, and then replay. I have absolutely no idea what was the terminal size that are reserved for this. Let me see. Defs. It is for this size. 129 by 40. So make that 129 by 40. By 40. 129. Let's try that. You have no idea what I am trying to do by right now, but it will become clear very soon. I have also used this song before in some of my videos. Yes, this is a 4K screen. So let's have that there. And then inside this window, can I still run that? No, I can't. I have to put it on background to begin with. There, it's on background. And I also could put it always on top. So does it work? No, it doesn't. So how does this actually work? Snee, replay. Fine. Oh, my up and down keys are not working in less. Why? X key, what was it? Show key, up, down. And here, in Xterm, this one, yeah. Show key, up, down. That should be identical. But over here, less is not recognizing my up and down keys for some reason. I don't know why. So let's undo the... Could you lower the music of... Lower the volume of your music, please? Yes, I can do that. It kind of depends on the song how loud it is going to be sounding, and yeah, so I have no idea what is playing now. Well, actually I will put more volume because I can't hear this song at all. Replay, so I have to put F option here. Didn't work. Wow. Kupo. Let's make a little recording. How does it say keyboard? What? This event recorder is recording me pressing the power button all the time. But it also does record button presses. Virtual keyboard, 80 translated. Virtual. Ah. 7.2. So it's not 6, it's Kupo, it's supposed to be 10. Let's try that again. It kind of seems to be working. So this is still my terminal, which is being run here. Well, I'm going to see this through and see whether it works as it is supposed to. You can kind of see where I'm going with this. You can of course recognize what this source code on the screen is. I am not typing anything, I am not touching even the keyboard right now. And that's the Mario, the person on the top, which I just coded there, so... But I want to see whether this works to the end without glitch. So that's what I'm doing. What is he doing? I am watching a screen. This is almost finished, yes. This is almost finished, but I have to still add a video recording into this. Well, technically I don't actually need to add, because I could use OBS for that purpose, but I do get better quality video if I do add a built-in video recording into it. So the editor here is Joe. This is not the DOS-based system right now. And actually I can't really stop this right now, because if I click somewhere it is going to continue happily the typing, but in the wrong window, so I I can code even without using my hands, yes, absolutely. So that SNE program is event recorder and event replayer. So it is right now replaying is the sound a little music a little bit loud? Well, in any case, it is right now it is replaying a sequence of events that I recorded earlier. I generated it earlier. Highlighting is bugged. Where is the highlighting bugged? Sequence of events that I created earlier using a program that I made for that purpose. So it is replaying that, and those replay commands are controlling the editor in real time. So this is all being typed in real time, but it is being typed using simulated commands that are fed like as if they came from the keyboard. That was a bug there. That was a bug. And now it is desynchronized because of that bug. I think I have different settings in my editor here than I did when I created this. Yeah. Yeah, that was a little desynchronization there and over there, because that will not compile. Do you use this editor to make the code as well? Okay, the Xwin wrap commands. Yes, I can share them. Also, there is also a bug concerning the indent. Player movement delta with hysteresis. So why Joe? Is that what is your reference, what it's placed? What? In what is your preference for it placed? Show both of your hands. They are there. These are my hands, and they are... I seem to have a hole in one of my hands. There's a hole. Tab has some problems, yes, that seems to be the case. But it is not a problem with this terminal, it is a problem with Joe settings, I believe. So that is complete. And now it puts these compilation commands here. Yeah, okay, that was the script complete, so let me see what happened there. If I delete that, and delete that, and put them in those, and also delete that. So those are the compilation lines. Here, yes, it was not a rendering error, it was a replay error. What made me choose Joe over the alternatives? The reason why I chose Joe is because it has a keyboard input scheme that I was already pretty familiar with. So that is the reason. And why I have not begun using something else than Joe, it is because I am already quite familiar with Joe and quite comfortable with Joe, so why learn something else? Why defy 20 years of muscle memory? Or 25, 20 or 25. Are you using OBS to screen record and put your camera in the video? Yes, I am. Here is OBS. This is creating the stream, and also there seem to be some dropped frames here, which is not very nice, but that is at least a very small percentage. Keys replayer. So that was a short demonstration there, but that already works. So what I still need, so this decoration is now done, and you see I'm still running in my own terminal here. So character sets are still missing, and maybe some of these other style renderings, but they are very low priority. Very low priority because things like Joe doesn't support them, so there's no reason for me to add those. So that is done. And then screen recording. I need to add screen recording. And the question is, do I want to simulate clock or do I want to run things in real time? By the way, the stream has been going for 2 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. But I will still continue. So screen recording is probably the next thing I need to do. How should I do it? I could take a chapter from DOSBox. How come you are not working in any IT company? How do you figure? So screen recording and also some optimizations, because I noticed that the frame rate wasn't perfect there. Hold on, let me do that demonstration again and make some measurements. Let's add another window here. Should be somewhere here. Over here, yes. So add one. This is going to be a small font, but it is going to measure. Yes, that's 100%. So it is actually not very efficient, let's put it that way. So optimizing this rendering should be actually pretty high priority. So I could probably do it like that. Pix plus O plus equals that. If the cell is not dirty, coffee is the gasoline of the programmer. Well, actually, in the last 2 streams, this didn't have coffee in it. It had chocolate, hot chocolate, so I beg to disagree. If the shell is not dirty, then no reason to redraw it. But exceptions. What is this song? This is horrible. I could also make this window smaller. Always on top. So always render line 0 and also where the cursor was the last time or where is it now is also going to be shown. Dirty. Where is dirty flag set? Dirty is set in here. It is kind of quiet. Dirty flag is there. So the last rendered cursor location should be saved somewhere. So something like that. And also Dirtify. Dirtify is not the most descriptive name here, but it's supposed to mark everything for redrawing. Dirtify. Like that. And also I should probably do it. Dirtify. Like this. And for all cells. Was it cells? Yes, it was. Mark everything dirty. Dirtify. Save those coordinates. I could probably move this window a little bit below. Oh. Like this. What if speech synthesizer read the output of terminal? Well, there are actually people who use that kind of systems because of impairments. That should be right enough. Dirtify. So it gets dirtified every time the window size changes. And was it typed like this? So it was spelled like that. Last cursor position. That seems okay. See, we got a terminal window here, but now it is still using 100%. Why though? Resize. Where did I actually do that? Is there a redraw here? Yeah, that is the reason. Render at line. Don't type so hard over popcorn. I'm thinking. Should I also add? This is my CPU, by the way. 50 degrees Celsius, 52, something like that, while I am running all these programs. Profiling. Someone asked me about profiling. Do you know any profiler you could use though? gprof is something I use sometimes. Not very often, but sometimes. That's my name, Mr. Cringe Git Biscuit. So render. Maybe I would do. I have to think. To make this lighter. Well, first of all, I should maybe probably do some profiling here to make sure that I have correctly identified the source of the slowness. So let me add a profiling command. Recompile. I searched the music on the internet but I didn't find it. I called the names of the files. Probably the names of the files are different. Do you have a share of the music files or real names? No. So are you writing your terminal emulator with Joe inside your terminal emulator? That seems to be the case, Jordi. Greetings to Kosovo. So let's run the terminal emulator, this time with profiling. So now I am running the terminal emulator and let's do something there. And that should be enough. That was a little profiling session. So can I kill it? Oh yeah. If I kill it, it doesn't write any files, so I have to actually add the quitting support here. Yes. Was it quit? I have to check. What was the event handler for quitting? We have this song again. STL quit was that, but STL quit, yes, that was right. So this window, yes, I do have controls, yes. Quit, enable quit. TTY was it? Yes. Kill sick term. Well, actually, it could be terminal closed. Oh. Yeah, that was wrong because it should be right here. Are you a computer scientist engineer? You could say that, I guess. So, and that was it. And then quit. Yes, quit work now. And now I can run the profiler. Profile. As expected, rendering takes the longest time. Person transform also takes some time. So here we go. So render. So the path that takes the longest time is also STL read roll. Window render. Yeah, that is still being slow. So I should make this render method faster. And it begins by marking the cell not dirty when it's done. So now it should be much faster. It is also buggy. So why? Fix this. Why is it buggy? Let me see that again. Okay, well, the dirty flag doesn't seem to be doing everything properly. It's kinda too aggressive. Seems like the dirty flag is not getting cleared. Dirty flag. This could be also a copyright missile target, so I will change that song. Oh, Jomon, please speak English rather than Finnish. So, why does it not anti-dirtify those cells? Well, that is a redrawn. Ooh, I know why. I know why. Or at least I believe I know why. No, I actually probably don't know why. But let me check anyway. Why does it always put this window on the back? I don't know why. Can I select field here? Yeah, so Yeah, it kind of doesn't render anything. So probably this method is not working right. But I don't see an error in it, that. That should be right. Copy. Everything that changes the screen is done through this function. And every time something is assigned there, it puts the dirty flag on. And also I should remove this printing here. Put ch. Ooh. I see. No, that also doesn't change it because it is still being done through this function, so. Dirty. So I have a theory. It prints into this pixel buffer. No, that is also persistent, so that is also not the cause of the problem. The performance problem might be caused by the debug output in the xterm window. If that was the problem, then it would be a problem in the xterm window. Those prints themselves are quite light, so. And also, while it is idling, it is not printing anything there, so that is not the cause. Render. It should not be able to skip this. When the big buffer is resized, yeah, that is also doing properly. Anyone have any idea what's going wrong here? When I am drawing something on the screen, for every cell that I'm touching, I'm setting the dirty flag. When I am rendering it into pixels, I'm checking this dirty flag, and if the flag is clear, meaning it's not dirty, then I'm skipping the column. Otherwise, I render it using this loop here, and I clear the dirty flag. So there is a possibility that this pixel resize here is not doing what it is supposed to do, but I don't see that being the case either. This is an interesting mix of the popcorn song. Coffee and honey. Do I have anything else that touches the cells directly? I do not. So the only thing that touches these cells is in here. Also, I should dirtify this here. If it has been rendered once, it should be fine. will not change that. Has dirty flag changed the size of the cell array? Parse error. Do you ever clear the flag? Yes, I do clear. It's cleared when the pixel, when the cell has been rendered. But as it seems, it is not actually... Also, this crash is kind of suspicious. So, you can see what's happening here. Only the first line gets rendered properly. Anything else gets broken, and also I get a crash. I kind of want to see what causes the crash, so let me check without profiling. Which distribution are you using? It doesn't really matter because all distributions provide the same stuff, basically. What you are watching is not a distribution. What you are watching is a set of programs I have installed, and pretty much all distributions provide the same programs. So let's put it into Debugger and run it. And also, why the window gets popped behind here, I don't really understand. So how did the crash occur? I'm doing stuff blind because I want to cause the crash and see what makes it happen. Also, everything I type here, well, at least something gets rendered. That is weird. I'm holding the D button here, and some of them it renders and some of them it doesn't. And also I'm not getting the crash right now, which is also weird. I wanted to see what causes the crash, but I didn't get the crash. The only hint I have of the problem is this increment being wrong, but I don't see any way that it can be wrong. Looks like dirty flag changed size of cell array. Did you add dirty to cell object? Looping Dream, I really don't understand what you mean by this sentence. I really don't understand what you mean by that, but dirty is yes in the cell object. It is here in the cell object. I really don't understand what you mean by that. Fillbox, cells blank. Only set the dirty flag in the last line when rendering. Hello Yazen Zakhamem, thank you very much for the cucumber. Thank you again. But, yes, CMD LP, that was a very good hint. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. This was the problem. That was the hint. Thank you, LP. What was this? CMD LP. Because that was the problem. So now the consumption is 20%, like 12% or something like that. So that is much better than what it used to be. What is Chromium going about? Why is it using 50%? Chromium, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, I totally forgot about that. Ah, I did have a chat there. I have to open that again. Restore, yes please. So I have to open that again, so to get the chat open on the screen again. Pop out chat. There we go. And I can close that and put the chat back here. So, now when I scroll this, it causes some power usage there, but it is nowhere as bad as it was before. And Chromium is using so much of CPU power for no reason at all. So, the recording. Guess what? I'm going to leave this recording for the next stream. Because I have been streaming for almost 3 hours now. So it could be enough for this day. It could be enough. What about coding while listening to Water theme from Donkey Kong Country? It would be nice, yes, but I am not going to do that song because if I just played like that, I'm going to get a copyright missile, and I don't want that. You should code in C++ instead. What exactly do you think this is? Pause your video live stream video playback in Chromium. I do not have it there. I do not have it open in Chromium. I only have this live chat here. So, in any case, I think that was all for today, but before I go, I have to commit this all into Git repository, so let's add the time is like that. And this is also a nice song that deserves more volume. So, maybe not that much volume. So, commit all these with the date is. Let's use ISO dates. And did I forget any files? No, I did not. So, push it into GitHub. And now it should be accessible in GitHub. Biscuit that terminal. So in GitHub, you now have my updates here. If you want to read them offline, you can do that. And I should add that description of what is a terminal right there at some time. A lot of things changed, yes. That's basically the gist of it. It's a bit habit of mine. I do many updates and once, so we get commits like that. There's another project where I will show you. Here is also Cumulative update, cumulative update, cumulative update, cumulative update. Bug fixed. Parsing should be complete now. Initial commit. That is probably the worst possible commit history I could do, but I sometimes do that when I get too excited about doing things. How are you supposed to extend that date style to times, by the way? You can actually read about that. ISO, let's see, ISO time. ISO time, yes, there we have it. So, like that. So that's how it works. So, any comments that I missed? Let me see. And actually the shadow color works very nicely on this background. Chat murderer. You need 3 there. That is really something. Thank you very much. Which distribution? I answered that. If first line working, possibly Y offset calculation problem. No, it wasn't that. Answer to that. Sometimes those walking persons with from the background appears to be some kind of ghost scary. Yeah, it should only probably appear when the top line is white or something. Do you have Y for children? No, I don't. What was the bug? The bug was that the dirty flag was set too early before the rest of the scan lines of the font were rendered. I remember when you are a bus driver, companies already discovered you. Or are you working as a software engineer? Yes, I am. Next live stream when? That is a good question. Next live stream. Well, today is going to be a very busy day. I won't be online at all. Monday I'm going to have a dance class. I don't know if there will be a live stream Tuesday. Because I have to get ready for Pesach, so Tuesday and Wednesday could be live stream days, but I don't know. If I do a live stream on Tuesday or Wednesday, then I do, but if I don't, then it will be a week later, so there could be a long pause here. But if you want a video from me sooner than that, take on that challenge that I made in the community tab. So then I can get that video up. Have you ever thought about making an intro to programming series? Yes, I have thought about that. Can you perform one of your folk dances for us? Yes and no. There is an upcoming video from me which shows me dancing one song. And I do that in that video, and it will be on my main channel, but it is still work in progress. But in general, I will not do that because of copyright reasons, because the music industry is a minefield. What do you think about Rust language? I have written about that many times. It says in the video description that he creates, yes. Is there a more in-depth description discussion on what features he wants to implement that misses from normal terms? You may want to watch earlier videos. Assembly in MIPS one day, please. I have no reason to use MIPS. That one looks like MS-DOS. It would be interesting adding part X on the final commit from the video. Done. So now the GitHub page, if I can find it, where was it? GitHub here. So it now shows video part 5. Wish fulfilled. Do you use your own kernel? No, I just use a regular Linux kernel, although sometimes I compile them. I compile my own kernel on the server, but not on this desktop. So anyway, I'm approaching 3 hours and this should be enough. So the video on demand for this live stream will be up maybe today or maybe a couple of days from now. It depends really what happens with the copyright. So that is probably all for now. So see you next time. Bye. Waiting for the stream lag. Bye.